Yo guys, what is good? It's your boy Blank Online. Today we're going to be talking about Apex Legends. What is Apex Legends and why you should care about it? Apex Legends is a free-to-play battle royale game. Now, if you wanted to count how many times you've heard that in the past year or so, ever since the blow up of PUBG and Fortnite, I'll give you $1 for every game you can name that is a free-to-play battle royale game. The spin with this one though is that it's made by Respawn Entertainment, so the old developers of Call of Duty, the developers of COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 created their own company and created Respawn Entertainment, which is the studio that created Titanfall, and this Titanfall game is the universe that Apex Legends is set in. Apex Legends is set in the Titanfall universe, although it has no titans. It basically copies or takes inspiration of the setting and the movement from those games. Titanfall, if you guys don't know, was one of the biggest and most anticipated games of the new generation of consoles, the consoles that we have now, the Xbox One and the PS4. And it was an exclusive for Xbox One and PC back when it came out in 2013, I can't really remember, but then a couple years later with Titanfall 2 releasing on all platforms, making it accessible to everyone. Unfortunately, Titanfall 2 really didn't live up to the expectations of EA, Respawn and the gaming industry, so a couple years later here we are with a free-to-play version of that Titanfall universe, Apex Legends. Apex Legends is not exactly what you think. It does take a lot of different aspects from different games. For example, it's a hero-based system, which we've seen time and time again, most notably with Overwatch. So in Apex Legends, you have a selection of characters you can play as, all have their different abilities that you can use on the battlefield to give yourself either an advantage or assist your team. So you have your medics, you have your support players, you have your assault players, and they're all just different heroes with different sets of abilities. So that's one aspect that's been taken from other games. Another aspect that's been taken from other games is really just all the battle royale games. You have your map, you have your big open map that you can choose where you want to drop off on. It's basically literally the same as every single other battle royale game, but with a couple twists. You go into squads of 3. In most battle royale games, you have the option to go with either solos, duos, or squads of 4. This game, Apex Legends, only has one option to play, and that's in squads of 3. So if you're playing solo, you'll be matched up with 2 other players that you don't know. If you're in a duos, you'll be matched up with 1. But if you have your whole squad of 3, there it is. There's your squad of 3. When loading into the game, it's also very different as well. Each player gets their opportunity to choose which hero they want to be. It goes, one player chooses first, second player chooses second, third player chooses third, and basically it's whoever gets it gets it. You can't double up on heroes in your squad. So yeah, it's basically a selection screen before you get into the actual game. Once you get into the actual game, that's when things also change a little bit. There is one jump master, and the jump master basically is the person that chooses where your squad gets to jump. The other players in your squad can kind of suggest where to drop, but all in all, the jump master chooses where to jump. You can peel off the jump master and drop solo, so you drop in your own space, or the jump master drops for you. If you are the jump master in this situation, you choose where to go, you drop, and you direct your squad of 3 to that point. The whole squad of 3 just follows you. The other people in the squad doesn't have to control anything unless you want to drop solo. The jump master does all of that. Once you land in the game, it's also very different to some other battle royale games. In game, it's a lot similar to something you would see in, for example, Blackout, where you drop into the map and you kind of just run around looking for loot. There's chests, there's loot on the ground. Some of them are colored, so you have your common stuff, you have a couple rare pieces of armor and that. But yeah, overall, most of the weapons and whatnot, they're all kind of common weapons, so you kind of just pick up your ammo, and all that kind of thing. What I do like about Apex Legends is that I like the way that they utilize the controls and the hub and the HUD, just in terms of how easy it is to access the different type of healings, the different type of grenades, and like your backpack and whatnot. I feel like if you like, from what I'm comparing it to Blackout, I think that Blackout's HUD and their system and their way of doing it is a little bit chunky. Just the fact that you have to go into the menu, equip something, and then exit out of it. Apex Legends, you have your spin wheel, something that you'd see in like a Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption game. So you have your spin wheel, you open it up, and you choose which healing item or which grenade that you want to use. And I think that's a very, very good system, and I like that way of doing it, as opposed to something like Blackout, where it feels to me just a little bit too clunky. Apex Legends also utilizes it's like the command controls sort of from the Battlefield games. If you notice, in those kind of games, you get your scroll wheel and your spin wheel, and you can kind of point out different things. You can say enemy spotted here, or let's go here. That's exactly the same thing that we see here in Apex Legends, and it works out really, really well. It's really good to use when you're just solo and you're in a squad with people you don't know, and you can kind of communicate that way and kind of direct people and kind of tell people, let's go here, there's loot here, there's enemies here. And it's a really good system that is really utilized in this game, and I quite like it. I quite like it. Next thing we're going to talk about is movement and gunplay. If you've played any of the Titanfall games, you'll know how good the kind of movement and the gunplay is in those games. It's not exactly the same here in Apex Legends. It's a little bit clunkier and a little bit slower. In Titanfall, you have the ability to boost jump and wall run and do all those advanced movement things. You can't do that here in Apex Legends. You can't boost jump, you can't wall run. You can slide really, really far, but you can't do any of those other things. It's not disappointing, the movement in it, but it's just not what I thought it was gonna be. When I heard that they're gonna make a Titanfall based battle royale game, I was expecting that fluid movement and just the silky smooth controls. It's not exactly lived up to that expectation in Apex Legends, but it's not bad. Like, in no stretch of the imagination, it's not a bad movement system. It's just not what I expected. In saying that, it's not perfect either. They could definitely do some refinements to make the game feel a little less heavy and a little less clunky, but overall the movement system is okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. In terms of gunplay, it's very, very interesting here in Apex Legends. It's like Titanfall. I gotta say, it's a lot like Titanfall, where the guns just feel like they don't have that much recoil, in my opinion. A lot of the guns kind of feel the same. There's not a lot of variety in the guns. There might be like 5 to 8 guns you can actually use, varying from SMGs, pistols, assault rifles, and sniper rifles, shotguns. There's just not a lot of variety in weapons, which is understandable for a battle royale game, but I feel like it might fall into the same trap as Titanfall did, where Titanfall just didn't have enough content in it to keep the player playing. And I think that overall the guns and the amount in the game might not be enough to hold players for a very, very long time. So that's what Apex Legends is, and why should you care about it? Well, the reason you should care about Apex Legends is that, one, it's a fresh new take on Battle Royale. I went into this game expecting exactly the same thing that I've seen countless times again, but I was surprised with how different it is, and with taking aspects from games like Overwatch that aren't a Battle Royale game and implementing it into a Battle Royale. It's interesting to see, and it's a fun concept to play around with. I'm having a lot of fun with the game at the moment, and if you haven't jumped on to play it, jump on. It's free to play. Just give it a go. And I think that with what Respawn is doing with this game, and supposedly taking control of their post-launch monetization scheme, not giving it into the hands of EA, which is the publisher of this game, I think it's a positive move to have a company like Respawn, who actually made a video laying out how their monetization works, showing you the likeliness of drops, how likely it is to get a rare, legendary, what on those kind of things, like the percentage wise, how likely it is to get those. I think that showing the community and being completely open with that thing is a good first step. Just a matter of fact, whether or not that continues, we'll see. We'll wait and see. But if you haven't played this game, definitely jump on. You should definitely care about this game. It's a good fresh twist. It's a good starting point in terms of post-launch monetization, and I think that a lot of people, if you're into battle royales or if you're into shooters as a whole, you'll have a lot of fun in this game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below. If you've played Apex Legends, what do you think about it? Click subscribe subscribe if you're new here. We have 2 subscribers away from 60, so I'd be super awesome if you can hit the bell for alerts so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.